back with another game of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Today is session 7. Welcome back, everybody. Where we last left off, as I unpaused the game, we had just dealt with a lot of animated fires in this building as you guys helped put it out. You guys have been repeatedly told to go meet the king of the Bullywogs, and you guys were going around the building to continue your path forward where everybody is pointing out. With Pipes leading the way, because Pipes apparently is the leader in this area.
Pipes is always the leader.
Fair.
Yeah, that's a good decision.
So as you start walking out on the bridge, Pipes, before you move further than that, you see this flat wood plank bridge which spans an arm of the lake, is lined with one side by rows of bullywug heads on wooden spikes. At the center of the bridge is a small figure sitting with his feet dangling over one side. The figure appears to be talking to itself in bemoaned tones. But then the severed bullywug heads nearly erupt in a cacophony of voices, some indignant, others sympathetic. A few of the more distant row yell, "What? I couldn't hear what they said."
Hello.
The figure turns and looks at you. I just want to make sure. As you walk up, you hear as you walk up, as you say hello, you're hearing this figure tell a story to the heads about how its own head was stolen by a dastardly rabbit thief, and how its new head is just a poor substitute, and that's when you said hello, and it's like, oh, hello there. What brings you guys here?
We seek an audience with the king.
This is who you're looking at.
Oh. Cool.
He's like, oh, of course, I should have known that you'd be here to talk to the Bullywug King. But that's fine. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Clapperclaw. How do you do?
Nice to meet you, Caperclaw. I am Pipes. These are my friends.
He's like, pleased to meet you, friends. As he like subtly tries to adjust the gourd on his head. It seems like he's not happy with the placement, but he's not getting it happy. So you guys are obviously new and from a different area. What brings you here other than to meet the king?
A quest.
A quest, you say?
Yes.
If you don't mind me asking, what's your quest for?
We wish to, I guess, restore balance to the Feywild.
He thinks for a second. He's like, well, to do that, you'll have to travel to the other parts of Prismere, won't you? If you can help me recover my head, I'll help guide you to hither, from hither to thither. Yeah, the next area. Me and my speech impediment. Yes.
We'll keep an eye out for your head. What does it look like?
It's I'll know it when I see it. It's hard to explain to people.
Okay.
Oh oh wait, no. Here he described it's yeah, I do have a description for it. It's just the most glorious, fantastic stag skull. It's beautiful, with little white, like a little tuft of white fur left on it. Mostly just the skull, though. As he says as he nods, and you guys hear the rattling inside his head.
He reminds me of Sam from Trick or Treat.
I was just talking to these lovely folks as he points to the severed heads. I figured if anybody could understand losing a head, it'd be these guys. Some of them are just unsympathetic. One of them just like, yeah, been through that. It's not that bad. Get over it.
Sounds like you need to get away from these guys anyways. They're just full of negativity.
I was thinking the same thing, but
We sometimes run therapy sessions that may be starting soon if you would be interested.
I don't know if I personally need that, but I will be happy to help.
Of course, that is appreciated.
And he stands up, like dusts himself off of his claws. It's like, well, the king is this way, and he points behind him.
Okay, thank you.
As he kind of moves off the bridge and moves off to the side so you guys can get past him.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I can still see everyone.
You've lost your friends, it's fine.
Oh, too far.
Oh, too far.
Yep, a little bit too far.
Where are you at then? Sorry. Oh, okay.
There I am.
Okay. Put you like right here.
That'll work.
Put Esmos up here too.
He hit that Elden Ring glitch.
Yeah. Boom. So what you guys see before you walk up in there, Tom, just so what you see ahead of you, you see a grand marble, a grand marble, gazebo that stands atop a mound of soggy earth, and its white stone streaked with algae. The support pillars have sunk into the muck unevenly, so that the dome canopy now sits askew. Short steps ring the gazebo, leading to a raised floor where the bullywugs, dressed in shabby clothing, lounge on pillows. Among them, a harpist sends forth delicate notes that mingle with the murmured croaking of the gathered nobles. On the dais, a flabby bullywug, wearing a crown of woven lily flowers, sit on an ornate throne with his legs folded underneath him. He has a large, leather-bound book across his lap and is mouthing the words as he reads the pages. Without looking up, he says, "Have you no herald to announce your presence before King Gullop the 19th? He slams the book closed as if to punctuate his question, regarding you for the first time. Sleepy bullywugs standing around the monarch snap to attention and ready their weapons.
Greetings, fellow monarch and fellow fae. I am Pipes, monarch of the Witchlight Carnival. These are my adventuring companions as well as my good friends. Hara, the leader of therapy and knower of how to swim. Ho-ho, soarer of the skies and carrier of pipes when Pipes is going to drown. Esmos, soarer of the skies, and sometimes carry up pipes when pipes is cleaning up and up when pipes is dirty. Sid, liker of birds and liker of more birds, we bring you this gift.
And I'm going to hand over, like a sort of a paper wasp nest in a jar, and then I'm going to go.
And music. We are on a quest to bring spells to the Feywild and learn how to not make people cry. I believe our desires and goals align, and hope this could be a start to a good friendship. As people should always try to become friends rather than enemies. So here's to our new bond as they may grow with the strength of 1,000 things.
And I'll start to play some bagpipes.
So he looks at you, and he's like, very well. Very well. It's very kind of you to announce yourself as such. We may be able to have a friendship of some kind. He's looking at you guys. He's like, I have recently come into possession of an item, and he taps the book on his lap, and it belongs to the hag of the area. I would like you to return it to her and assure her that I didn't steal it. I was just trying to maintain it for safekeeping. Only the members of the Soggy Court, as he kind of waves around himself to his people around him, and those are allowed to speak with Bavlona. But I will make an exception and invite you guys to the group, if you would like. As he's talking to you guys, by the way, one Bullywug passes around a wine goblet. Let's go with Sid. Sid, you get this wine. Wine. Wait, let's see if it is you. Yeah, actually, that's perfect. You get a wine goblet handed to you. But when you go to drink from it, you notice that it's empty and that there's a piece of paper inside of it.
Can I take paper out and read it?
Yeah. Hold on.
What does it say? I would like to pass the goblet with the piece of paper still like back in it. See if somebody else can read this.
Who would you like to?
Pipes. No, I think he's the only other person that could read it.
So, Pipes, you get handed a goblet. And much like him, you probably go to drink it and you see a piece of paper inside.
I will still pretend to drink and then read the piece of paper.
that's what it says.
Okay, I'm going to yet again like put the paper back in, pretend to take another wee sip, like
Nice.
and then I would probably pass it to. I'll pass it to Hara.
You get this piece of paper in a goblet, and you look at the paper, and you cannot read it.
Well, I, much like everybody else, am just going to faint a sip of this drink and pass it along.
Okay, and I think, so I will go through. I think out of everybody here, nobody else can read it from checking people. So you probably hand it around, pass it around just in case, but nobody else is able to read the note.
Sorry, I'm just quickly writing what it is so I don't
Forget. Yeah. No, you're perfectly good. But the king's looking at you guys like, well, do you accept joining the soggy court?
Yes. We shall join the soggy court if you will have us.
Very good, very good. Then we must be quick about it. And he like claps his finger, and he's like, show them to. I want to make sure I get the name of the. Show them to the palace to be fitted with proper attire, so that they can talk with Bavlona.
You good there, Art?
I think he keeps clicking. Art languages are popping in. Try not to click on its actual name, but to the right a little bit. On the first page is where all your languages are. So like your languages, because I looked at your character, it's on the first page. It's Common, Draconic, Elvish. Corey will unfortunately have to go lay down for a little bit because of his breathing issues at this second. But he's gonna try to come back if he can. If not, he's just gonna rest. But yeah. By the way, this is who you're talking to. Let me show you. And Kelly, you'll notice something you'll love. Is right next to him, he has a little baby crocodile that he's just petting every once in a while.
Some fancy looking frogs.
Yeah, they really are.
Even the crocodile looks pretty fancy, I would say. Like,
oh yeah.
Right. He's sophisticated.
oh yeah.
As he's like, he pets him, and like the crocodile makes a noise. He's like, hush there, Snoodle. They're fine. But yeah, he's like, if you continue on, just pass down the way, you'll reach the palace. You can't really miss it.
Of course. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, but of course, I wouldn't want to do anything to upset Bavlona, and it's all the better that you guys are able to help me.
Of course.
And he gestures behind him over this way, where you're supposed to continue. I'll drag Esmos with the NPC behind you.
Just, just so I know, would we be far away enough so like whispering would be safe?
A little bit farther, and sure.
Okay.
Oh shit, where do we go? Oh,
They abandoned you. It's fine.
that's fine. I'm watching something for work.
How dare you? This is D&D time.
I'm sorry.
Do we still have the note?
Who was who would have been the last one to have it? Like, do you think? Because
Probably whoever was farthest away from the initial.
Probably me. I'd have probably had the goblet last.
Then what would you have done with it? Would you have given it back to the retainer person, or?
Yeah, I would have been able to give it back to the real person.
Okay,
Or
so
the other person.
so it got given back to the person who originally handed it to Sid. Does that answer whatever you needed, Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. So you are now officially far enough, Pipes, to have a quiet whisper conversation about anything really interfering.
So, guys, what do you feel about the note? Like, there's, like, a lot going on. It said, like, do you all know what it said, or?
I think it's too dangerous. Don't get involved.
It said to find Illig, the Baron of Muckstump, and that the revolution lives.
I
The revolution.
think Clapperclaw speaks up. It's like, oh, it's probably another one of those ploys for kings. King Gullop the 19th hasn't been king for very long. In fact, all those heads we were talking to are all past previous usurped kings. It's
How
probably,
often does it happen?
well, you've seen the
Wait.
heads.
Wait,
Yeah,
kings
but,
can
like-
get up.
Well, yes, your majesty. Kings can get usurped, though yours is a little bit more unique. But any king can have their kingdom taken away from them. It's as easy as losing your head. So, I'd be careful with who you call subjects. They might want a taste of being royalty themselves.
I don't think I have any subjects.
Well, every monarch has subjects. I assume that's why you were bringing in your friends along, so you had subjects to come with you.
But they're just my friends.
Yes, but are they monarchs?
No. Wait,
Uh.
are you guys monarchs?
Not that I know.
No.
Well, then if they're not,
That's the last of my clan.
if you're not a monarch, then you're probably a subject. Can't really be both or neither.
I prefer the term believer.
I'm a believer. Anyways.
So, do you guys think we should meet with this Illig? Or do you think we should stay out of the revolution? I think we could at least hear them out.
See, okay, we've already been a part of a single conflict between nations, or kingdoms, or groups of fey creatures.
Isn't that what we're trying to do? Is replace the balance to this
Exactly.
world? So we're gonna have to.
What can a ragtag group of 5 accomplish in a world that's been strife with apparently a lot of chaos?
One well-placed arrow can change the whole history.
I mean, that is true, but I don't feel like going up against the god of the Feywild. I don't
What?
think that it's safe.
Well, remember, you guys were told that the god was like absent, and that it seems like the hags took over.
So what we need to do is we need to get the gods back, not replace kings. Because I feel like that's just gonna lead to more chaos. You know, some stability in a kingdom might be nice.
I'm not suggesting we replace a king. I'm just suggesting that we make sure that this king isn't going to make things worse, and or if the revolution makes things worse, then maybe we should do something about that. But we can't do nothing if we know nothing.
I mean, that is true. We could at least we can go see the situation at the other thing, and then I guess we'll have to hold like a group vote or group side huddle again.
Okay.
I don't think this is very fair asking for external people for help. I don't think that's fair.
Clap Claw says, "Well, haven't you ever heard the phrase 'all is fair in love and war'? This is
No.
kind of like a war. So all is fair."
I'm not here.
Why send your own?
I'm here to talk.
Why send your own people if you can get somebody else to do it for you?
Exactly.
Well, what if they're gonna say, "Hey, go get the goblins to come help us"? And do you really want to go to a band of murderous goblins that are just trying to kill things?
Goblins
I mean,
kill
that's-
things?
Yeah, I don't think they're murderous at all.
I do believe, didn't we just help some goblins?
Yeah, but weren't they trying to steal shit?
To live?
Allegedly.
Alleged.
I mean, true, allegedly. I don't know very much about goblins, but I don't.
Did they try killing us?
I don't
They
have
did.
a very high opinion of goblins or rabbit folk so far.
Wait, you
Wow.
don't have high regards of me?
Yeah, rude.
Let's see. We've
That's our
been
king.
attacked by one goblin. We were thrown into an arena by another, or not goblin, by rabbits. You know, it's not looking good so far.
Is there anything I can do to, like,
Have you been shot at yet?
Yes.
Who shot at you?
Wasn't it the first thing of rabbits when they stole our memories? Well, some of us voluntarily gave them up, and the rest.
To be fair, none of you guys had them stolen. All of you guys that had them taken away willingly gave them.
True, but then a fight started.
You say fight, it was definitely more of a one-sided thing where they ran away very soon after.
can I give you a hug to show that I'm a rabbit that's willing for friendship?
No, not much for a hug. I'll take it. I'll take the kindness though.
Okay.
Hug him against his will.
No, Pipes just has the word usurped ringing in his head. He's not gonna.
Are you
All right,
guys?
let's go fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you guys gonna continue walking?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys continue walking. You can choose to go either to the right or to the south.
Is there any indication of which goes where?
I can not really.
Okay. Let me ask this. Which path looks more used?
The path to the right probably is a bit more used. The path south is more used. The path to the right it seems used but not super used.
Okay.
And Ho, where you're standing, you see what looks to be, in front of a door, a crocodile.
In front of a door.
Yes.
I'm gonna relate what I see. to my fellow?
Because you can see just slightly more than everybody else.
And that is to the right?
No, that's to the south. To the right, you don't.
Okay.
You just see the path going.
So I'm going to relate to this.
Like that's what this
the
is.
south?
This is a crocodile.
Okay, to the south, there looks like a crocodile standing in front of the door. And this other path here, I don't see nothing down the path. So do we want to go talk to a crocodile?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
So as you go down, you see a crocodile. You see the bullywugs. You're like, ah. And one of the bullywugs like, ah, the king said that you guys would be sent along to the palace. Come along, come along. As the crocodile kind of waters out of the way. And kind of gives the opening for you guys to go in. What you see as you walk up, though, is this ramshackle hall is built around a big tree. Two of the tree's limbs reach out through walls like enormous welcoming arms. The interior of the hall is roomy, with an open floor plan that allows occupants on the upper story to look out over the lower one. Bullywug couriers crowd the place, filling it with their guttural croaks. Their clothing is faded and stained with mud. And then let me make sure that's what this.
Well, if we're supposed to talk to the king, I guess we need to go in and talk to him then, huh?
Well, you already talked to him. He's the one that sent you along to go get properly clothed.
Ah.
So that you can, yeah. He wanted you to come here so you could get properly clothed so that he could send you to talk to Bob Lerner.
Just meta wise, is where we are muxed up.
You have not heard that name yet. Of
Okay, that makes
anything.
sense.
Whether you are or not in Muck stuff, you have not heard that name.
Oh wait, I may have a solution to make use.
So as you walk up Pipes and Ho-Ho, you see this, and everybody else eventually, like Esmos is up there too, slowly but surely. You see this, like this place where, like they said, it's filled with couriers, but there are some other people, and they're like, ah, yes, the king said you'd be here. And they're pulling off clothes off this clothesline, and they all look regal, but they're not all like faded or probably not fully cleaned or fully dried, and that kind of stuff. And they start like holding stuff up to you guys, trying to dress you up. Sid and Har, are you guys up with them, or are you guys hanging back?
No, I'll go with it.
Just wanted to make sure, like, that you were.
My screen was all the way back.
Just so you could see the door. So yeah, so all of you guys are they're trying to dress you, basically. Are you guys letting them, or?
I get told red is my color.
They nod and they pull out a very faded red shirt that almost starts to look pink from the fadedness, and like hold it up to you. And they just start basically picking out clothes and giving them to you to change into. And this will go for everybody.
Is Clapper Claw still with us?
Yes, but he's kind of staying outside.
Wait, I'll be 1 sec. Wait.
Clapper Claw.
Yes.
Is this place called Muck Stump?
let me just see personally. It is. Okay. Let me scroll down to see what it wants, which is here, which is. I'm not 100% sure of that, though it may have been called that at one point. I would not know.
Do you know anyone named Illig?
No, I do not. I do not know that person off the top of my head.
That's fine. Sorry for bothering you. Thanks again.
Not a problem. So, Esmos looks a little peeved that they consider his clothes not good enough. I know you're in the chat, Corey. Let me know if you willingly change or if you refuse to. But for the rest of you, do you guys willingly change into the new clothes or do you refuse to?
Pipes is.
What was that?
Pipes
Go ahead, Pipes, first.
Pipes is like trying but is struggling, if that makes sense. Like doesn't really just isn't really doing it too well. Like, you know.
I think at that point a couple of them help try to get you dressed. Like they just start piling on the velvet and the lace and everything to trying to get you dressed up. You said Brandon?
What?
You were saying something and you and Pipes were talking?
Yes. I changed. Fancy
Okay.
thread.
Yeah, it's fancy but faded. What about
That's fine.
Ho and Ha?
As long as it's not confining.
I think it's probably pretty loose. It's probably one of those like royal shirts that kind of below a little bit.
Okay.
So it's probably as confining as you want. Esmos does not change. He just thinks his clothes are good enough, so he's not willing to change. What about her, Kelly? You're muted.
But I'll put my own clothes in my bag, though.
Oh, of course. Kelly, you're muted. If you're talking. But as you guys get changed, you guys now have fancier faded clothing. They're like, that would do. You can King Gullop will talk to you again about taking his item back. I think it's at this point that from behind the building enters King Gullop, carrying the book in one arm and the little crocodile in the other. And he's like, yes, you guys... though he does give a stink eye to Esmos for not changing, he's like, very good. You guys are much better attired. Now, like I said, the job will just be to take this book back to Bavlorna and let her know that I was not the one to have taken it. I just took it from the thief to return to her. Though I wouldn't recommend looking into the book yourself. You don't want to make her upset or anything.
Oh, is it like a diary?
Yes, you could say that.
Oh.
And he looks around. He looks at you, Ho-Ho. He's like, you look like you've been around a little bit. You look responsible. He hands you the book. He's like, you can hold it.
I'll accept the book.
He's like, very good, very good. Now just, Barcelona is in the cottage at the center of the lake. If you continue on, I'm sure you'll find a boat that will take you there, or else you could always just swim. Just try to keep the book nice and safe. As he turns the head back to his cushions.
Are you going to read it?
Am I going to read it?
Read it.
Yeah. You should read it.
Are we alone?
Are we alone?
Well, at the moment, Ho-Ho is inside a building with a lot of other people. You don't know what's up the other path. Maybe you could be alone up there, though.
Let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go find someplace a little more private.
I'm trying to see what's in that book now.
Is it upright the way we are going, or is it?
Upright
upright.
is a place you haven't explored yet.
Oh, was that not the way that was meant though?
There's several ways you can go.
Where did I go?
Don't. Where did who go?
Where did I go?
I don't know where you. Wait, hold on. Wait, no, you're right here.
There. I was there, and now I'm not.
You're right.
Oh, there we is.
Yeah, you were in a wall.
I was in a wall.
Yeah, you were in a wall. I'm
gonna go back up and go down this the other path for a little bit because I didn't see anything down that way.
Sounds good.
Trying to take a look at that.
And now I'm gonna look around and see if I noticed anybody
you.
other than my group.
Yeah. When you head up a little bit, you kind of get away from them, and you could probably walk right there and not notice anybody. You see, on the cover of the book called Big Book of Bad Blood.
What's the name of the book again?
Big Book of Bad Blood.
Big Book of Bad Blood. So I can read the
The cover at least.
do what?
The cover at least.
Okay. I'm gonna open it.
Okay, so you see it inside the book. It seems to be. It seems like the book is some kind of recipe book. Like it talks in a way that recipe books would. But some of the recipes don't make sense. It's strange.
But I can read the writing that's in it.
The writing is probably in like Elvish.
Okay.
But you can't really make heads or tails of it.
And how big is this book?
Let's see. Let's see how big the king is, and I will go off of that. The king is a medium creature, so the book is probably like it's probably a
Is it?
fairly large book. Like it's like to hold it open, you can't have it one-handed hold it open. You would have to like two-hand hold it open, kind of thing.
Okay.
Esmos would also make a comment that if he would make a comment about how if we're going to swim across, to either have him or you carry it, ho, or to put it in a waterproof bag. He also takes a look at the book, but he can't read it. And he asks you what it is. Like what's the writing?
It's Elvish, and that it's recipes of some sort that don't make sense.
And for Esmos who's listening, he reads some of the recipes out, but I know you're trying to decode it. It does. There's no point of reference to decode it if it's a code. You do not understand what it means. Though, on the edge of your guys' vision, Esmos will see it first, but the rest of you guys will see it. Right about here, there seems to be a building of some kind, right on the edge, about 20 feet or so away from you guys.
You know people write recipes in a diary.
Shoot the dogs in a minute.
So, what do you guys do now?
Did anybody ask which direction we needed to go?
He did say that the cottage was in like the center of the lake, and that if you continued on, you'd probably find a boat, or you could just swim.
Well, I'm fine with swimming.
Nope.
I can't swim.
Am I clean enough for Esmos?
Clapperclaw said that there is will offer to carry you guys, but Clapperclaw does say that there may be something else around where we might find a boat of some kind that you guys could use.
Oh, could you show us where the boat might be?
If it's anywhere, it'll be further along past the palace.
Oh, so should we go back down?
I probably go around the palace. To go through the palace, you'd have to go through the sunken part. Which
Oh.
that would defeat the purpose of a boat, just to go through the sunken part.
Mm-hmm. So and around we go.
So you see a building to your right, though.
Oh.
Rising from the soggy earth is a sturdy wooden hut with an open doorway on one side. And at the back of the hut are two holding cells. These thick mangrove roots, serve as bars, with a small round door closing off each cell. The floor of one cell is covered with several inches of stinking water, and the other cell holds a figure in rags slumped against the back wall.
Hello.
The figure raises his head, and it's a bullywog. Let me see if I have it. This is the general art for the bullywog knights, but it kind of shows you what you're looking at. He opens his head and he's like, More people to gawk at the prisoner, huh? Oh, she. Sorry, she.
I didn't mean to gawk. I was just making conversation. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You're fine. I expected. Ever since I helped that fairy knight, fairy dragon knight escape, they caught me, and I've been in here since.
Wait,
Would Pipes be able to make the connection that is that the night we've met, or
I don't know. Wood pipes. Some of the other players almost certainly will, but I'm giving you like. Do you think pipes would?
can I make a roll for it? I'll make like
Go ahead. Give me a history check.
Cool.
Nope.
well, that's a shame. Why don't you escape?
She looks at you with this like, did you really just say that? As she looks at the cage around her. How it looks in now is the root walls are just made out of mangrove roots. They look decently thick, but somebody could maybe break through them if they had time. And the cell doors are locked. She's like, I'm now just waiting for judgment from the king and Bavlorna. I don't regret it though. I would have done it again. They had a poor fairy dragon locked up and saved. Like, locked up and imprisoned, and I helped free him, or at least got the cage away from Marvlorna, and just couldn't bear to see him locked up and wasting away when he obviously wanted to go back to his queen. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't seem like a crime.
Oh, it is when the people who run the place wanted that fairy dragon to be kept locked up.
Oh. Do you know what the fairy dragon did?
That existed? As far as I know. And Esmos will pipe up asking, do you know who the name of that fairy dragon? She nods. She said, me and my friend Rigorog was helping the Honorable Sir Talavar escape. But unfortunately, to delay the pursuers, I sent Rigorog and Talavar along in the stolen balloon, and I stayed behind and delayed them, but it caused me to be trapped. Esmos asks, would you like us to free you, ma'am? To which she said, well, if I could be free, I could try to sneak away and see what happened to Tavlava and my friend Vigorog. Otherwise, they'd probably have me battling to the death by trial combat.
Fighting isn't good.
It's something I'm at least proficient in, but I probably won't survive long.
Guys, do you want to let them out?
If we can do so nonchalantly.
You guys still have 2 skeleton keys that can open 1 lock each. as Esmos helpfully reminds.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. I think we should use the skeleton key.
You can attempt to pick it if you have thieves' tools, but if you don't have them, you won't be able to pick.
Nope.
No.
Also, for Esmos, you do remember them talking about a friend. You remember a dead bullywog that was in the balloon next to the cage with the fairy dragon knight in it. Because he was the only one that was up there watching. Not up there watching, but up there seeing what was happening. So, do you guys... Esmos is like, well, I do believe we found your friend. I have bad news. Rigawog is almost certainly dead. But we did save the fairy dragon. He is free and out of the cage. And at this news, the Morgot, as she introduced herself to you guys by now, she grows sullen. She's like, I'm sorry to hear that. I will miss my friend. But life must go on, and I will do my best to carry on for Rigawog. Thank you guys for continuing my mission and freeing Sir Televar. I'm glad he's able to head and be free with his queen.
Do we know who has the skeleton key?
I believe it might be Esmos, but either way, Esmos makes a mention or asks if everybody is okay with using a key. I think I put it in the group so anybody could have it.
Okay.
But Esmos would ask the group if they're okay freeing the Morgot.
Yeah, I'm personally for it. No.
What about other people?
I wouldn't be against it.
Sid, Ha?
They'd be down for it as long as I don't see anybody around.
Yeah.
Sure.
Esmos makes a mention about waiting till nightfall.
That's a good
We-
idea.
Do we have a gauge on the time now?
I'm going to say that it's probably about 2 in the afternoon.
Wait, did they have like access to the lock from the inside?
They could probably reach through the bars.
We could just leave the key with them, and then they could escape at nightfall. Or at their own discretion.
I mean, true.
She's like, if you do that, I will do my best to escape and leave the town and meet back up with you guys outside once you are done with whatever you have to do.
I'm gonna ask him if he knows anything about a book that where the lady we're supposed to go see.
You mentioned Bavlorna, and she kind of scours a little bit. She's like, let me make sure. Bavlorna is nothing but a bitter enemy of mine. She has done nothing but make this beautiful land go downhill ever since she overthrew our lovely queen, Prisma. And anything of hers can only be bad for somebody, though I don't know anything about a book personally. Now, if you made any promises, make sure not to break them, because there can be consequences if you fail to fail to uphold promises in hospitality.
Mhm.
Esmos gives a key to Shun, and have Shun kind of fly up to the top of the room. And he says, "I'm going to leave Shun here to keep the key nearby, but hidden until nightfall, so you can free." Is that acceptable to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll work.
See.
Sounds good to me.
Very good, very good. So as you continue on, Ho, as you guys say goodbyes and continue on, right where you are now, you see a mangrove tree that stands in the middle of a patch of heavy churned mud, where rustling and rotting bits of armor and weapons are scattered about. 2 lengths of chain are anchored at opposite sides of the tree trunk, each with an iron shackle at the end. The Clapperclaw says this is where they do their trials of combat. Luckily, nobody's here at the moment, though we should make haste and not loiter too long. There is docks to the south, but there is another place off to the east that you guys might find interesting since we're here. It's a store of some kind.
I'm down to go to a store if you guys are down.
Yeah.
So he kind of points and leads away, and you guys see a dock over here. So upon going up to the dock, you see a big black balloon floating above the lake, tugging at its moorings. Underneath of it hangs a basket made of black wicker and wood, which serves as a merchant stall. A large panel of gray glass is drawn close across the opening of the counter. A sign mounted on the window says, "Wondrous wares and fair fares." The balloon is not made of fabric, but appears to be a rolling dark rain cloud that's been contained somehow with lines and netting. As you walk up, you see two figures kind of bounce up and greet you guys. They're like, "Welcome, welcome." Let me see if I should have artwork to show you at least what they look like. It's these, but without the blades. They're just people right now, but that's what they look like. And they're like, "Welcome, welcome up, welcome up. I'm Trinket," and the other one's like, "And I'm Bauble. And welcome to our store. It's a wondrous place." As they kind of point at a sign hanging below the counter that says, "Available for limited time only. A very good thimble, fingertip not included. A mug of bumblebee has a nice sting to it. A dusk mellow pie with decorative bite marks. A bundle of dry wood, great for starting fires. An ink portrait. If we have to look at you, so should you. And moonlight monocle. No more fumbling in the dark.
Oh. How much is the monocle?
So, if you want the monocle, it'll be the color from your eye. Just one. It won't be both. And you'll still see normally. Perfectly fine.
We'll have things. How are you willing for trade?
Well, that would be the trade. And this is Trinket
Oh, that's
talking.
fair.
Bobble pipes up. Well, if you don't like that, I could give you a better deal. I'll just take the rhythm from your step.
All I have is my rhythm.
Well, then you can always take the first deal. It's completely over the table.
I need to think about this. I mean, I don't even know what color.
I'm gonna turn to Ho-Ho.
What color are my eyes?
So I need to know from you what color your eyes are, so Ho-Ho can know what color your eyes are, so that we can decide what color your eyes are.
It's fair. They're probably just like yellow, like in the image.
Okay. So Ho-Ho, you look at him and he asks you what color his eyes are, and you just see two yellow eyes looking back. As when you
He's
ask
the
that,
rabbit one, right?
yeah, he's the rabbit one next to you.
Pinkish.
Okay. Do you think it's worth trading that pinkish for the monocle?
So as you're asking that, Esmos pipes up and says, we'll take that deal with the eye color. Pipes here is good for it. He is our monarch after all.
So you think I should take the deal, Esmos?
He's like, I wouldn't have offered it if I didn't.
Okay.
So, Trinket produces a small marble. And like holds it up and like looks through it like tells you to look through it. Like, just look through this marble real quick for me. And like holds it up to you. And as you look through, Trinket, she says, "Hue be mine." And your iris turns transparent. You can still see perfectly fine, just one of your eyes is now transparent. And she like grabs it and she's like, good deal for me, good deal for you. And she hands over the moonlight monocle.
Thank you. Could I also see what you would be willing to give for this?
And I'll present like an iron needle with an eye that refuses to let Fred pass through it.
I think not. No, if somebody else wants to give the eye color, I do have one more specialty item. And they kind of pull from underneath, put it on the counter. It's a unicorn horn. Very hard to come by unicorn horns, and one never knows when one might come in handy. This one recently found its way into my possession. And seeing
What
that,
unicorns do?
oh, many different things, and you'll never know what you'll need it for until it comes up. In fact, you could use it to stab somebody, or
You
as
could stab someone,
yeah.
or
the,
stab someone,
yeah, and
hollow
the-
it out, fill it full of candy,
Yeah.
or stab someone.
or even find its owner. Who knows? And Esmos will you guys see Esmos step up and offer his, like, I will give up my eye color for this one. As you look at him, he seems kind of, he looks a little guilty by offering up yours, Pipes. So he's taking over this time.
I am
Seeing this, I will like. I just
I hope you know there is no guilt. I consider you a friend.
And Esmos will go through the same ritual of losing one of his two eye colors, like 2 eyes of color, leaving it transparent. So now you and him match. One of you guys share eye colors or lack of color.
We match.
Yes, Sid. The rabbit matches more with your god than you do. More competition. As Trinket gives the unicorn horn to Esmos. To which Corey in chat says another campaign with 2 color eyes.
same as well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put that on the list. And they're like, well, anything else you guys want? Nothing else on there really looks interesting, unless you want an ink portrait of yourself. But you guys will start running out of things to give up eventually. Though I guess you could give up the rhythm of your step if you wanted.
Oh,
For what?
The rhythm of your
I'd take-
step.
I'm not giving you the rhythm of my step. You see this rhythm?
I would like to do a little dance.
Do a performance.
Okay.
Come on, that one. 18. They look at you like, but your rhythm is so good. It definitely would be worth this dusk mellow pie with decorative bite marks in it.
Oh, is that a dust metal pipe?
I'm gonna look at my bar and be like,
Is this worth it?
Esmo shakes his head no.
Oh, no.
am I able to put the monocle on straight away, or does it require an attunement?
You can put it on, but it will require an attunement, which is at least a short rest.
I'm gonna put it over the clear eye anyway.
Yeah, when Esmo says no, shakes his head no, he's just like bad pipes no.
Right, I'm learning. I won't.
And with that, unless you guys want to buy more, I don't think there's anything else here.
Thank you, though. Goodbye. They were nice.
You see a fancy new monocle on Pipe's eye. That is clear. For those who want across the bridge seeing everything.
Nice monocle.
Thank you. You know, I
Or-
can see clearly now the color's gone.
Wouldn't you be able to see less clearly if there's no color?
I was trying to make a joke, cause my eyes clear now. But am I gonna go blind?
Well, who knows? I don't even have eyes, Claw says, and I can see just fine.
How do you see without eyes?
Well, I had eyes. They're with my head, which I currently don't have at the moment.
But we will find it.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
I would like to hold up 2 feathers.
I see an ignorant bird that doesn't believe me.
Whoa, he sees into your soul.
Damn, but he still can't see 2 feathers?
Oh, I saw
don't
the
know if he can
feathers.
see well. Why didn't you say that?
I think he holds up his claws like, I can make it 0. Just jokingly, in a joking voice.
I would like to go hide behind Ho-Ho.
So he hides behind you, Ho-Ho. But yes, where would you guys like to go now?
Find a boat so my friends don't get wet.
It's slightly raining, by the way. So being super wet is a thing. You still have that, and Esmos mentioned this. You still have that waterproof bag.
I'm gonna put the book in a waterproof bag.
Okay. But yeah, so you guys find a boat. You guys could try to fly across on each other. It's all up to you guys. Down south is where they said boats would be.
With the south.
Wait, do we need to cross the river to get south, or?
Well, as you get down southwards, you see, as we get down more and more, right about here are some docks, and there is a boat on one of the docks. Looks like the boat might be big enough for 3 of you guys.
Hello, are we fine to use this boat?
You see his throat like enlarged, like croaking, and he just nods.
Thank you.
I will get on the boat.
Okay, so it's big enough for 2 more people that want to be on it. Who wants to be on the boat? Who's gonna have to probably fly or take the second trip?
I mean, I can swim, and I think we have 2 people who can fly, so...
Clapclaw
Well, the ones that can't swim or can't fly should get on the boat.
Clapclaw will say, I can always stay here on land while you guys go take care of business with Bavlorna. I would recommend not being in the water too long. It's so murky and dark nearby her house, you don't know what could lie in there.
I know I got in the boat, but I can also fly if someone else would like to go in the boat. But I'm also fine to go in the boat. Because I definitely cannot swim.
I think Esmos
I prefer not to attempt to swim.
Esmos points out that of the 5 of you, 2 can fly, so the other 3 should probably be in the boat. Just for safety. I'm gonna put Clapclaw there so I remember and put you guys together so I can move you guys. But is that the plan? Are we going in the boat and you guys can go directly to the cottage, or you guys can go explore some more of this map? What would you like to do? Because it definitely is you definitely have a few more areas you can explore, but you can do that afterwards if you think you won't have to leave very quick.
That's true. I mean, we're gonna come back and give the head to
Yeah, he's waiting for you
Cliff
either way.
Clapperclaw.
Yeah, Clapclaw.
Let's go drop
find-
this book off.
Although,
They'll put his name so everybody can see it.
While on the boat, I'm probably gonna mention like
I'm just gonna say it now. Like, we're usurping the hag, right? Like, we still give them the book, of course, but I feel like we have to do something about the hag.
Ah.
And
As-
potentially this frog that is helping the hag.
As you guys are in the boat, flying, like going towards it, and the two are flying nearby, you're having this conversation, and you see, let me bring up the information of what you see. No, I don't want to show that. Pop out so that I can do this. I get to copy you guys and move you. Because you guys are going to a new map. I'm trying to see. This 12, I believe it says. Let me. Let me head back to the last map and just see exactly what it wants you. You guys probably can't see nothing yet. That's intentional. Up to B1. Okay.
I see a full map.
You do?
Yes.
I believe I'm also seeing a full map.
Like, with a bunch
I
of tokens and everything.
I will not look up though. Zooming into a random square, but I cannot see anything.
I wonder why you can see everything.
It's all thanks to the clear eye and the. Oh, I can't see anything now.
You can't now?
Now
Nope,
everything's
it's-
black.
Okay. So, what you guys, I'm trying to see where exactly you guys would be at, which I think would be right about here, because you guys docked and you guys are here. Let me just, boom. I'm not missing anybody. So you guys are here. What you guys see in this room is a large recessed pool of moldy clay tiles that take up most of this square room as you guys have entered from below to here. This is not needed because he's not there. Just to make sure. Yep, okay. So, rising from the pool's center is the head of a stone well that gives off an unpleasant, pungent odor. In one corner of the pool stands a tall, dirty, freestanding mirror in an oval frame, and floating in the water is a large lily pad. Creaking wooden floorboards are arranged in 10-foot wide raised walkways along the pool. This walkway is crowded with shelves and tables and stools in all shapes and styles. Almost every other surface is littered with stacks of dirty plates, scraps of food, and old junk. Dressing dummies are pushed together in one corner, and a wooden staircase spirals up to another corner. 5 closed doors lead from this room. And that's where you guys find yourself, right where you are.
all cards on the table. This place kind of frightens me, and I don't know why.
Probably makes sense. you think
Hopefully
about
they subscribe to Don't Shoot the Messenger.
Okay, wait, about that. Okay, I know we should give the message, and we will, and we'll do all that. But I know we maybe can't now, but what are your opinions on, like, with the hag and stuff? Like, are you just down for, like, trying to, you know, like, I mean, I don't want to kill the hag, but, like, if we can convince them to stop ruining the Feywild or something.
I mean, I would much rather try to avoid this without killing anybody.
I would also like to not kill anyone, but if the Feywild stays the way it is, won't people die anyway? And
Yep.
is it not doing something just as bad, or is it not just as bad? Morals.
But that's why we're here.
Okay.
The pool itself seems to be, it doesn't seem to be super full, by the way. It looks to be a little, like, you can see the well, which the well is not spewing out water like some of the other wells have.
Mm-hmm. So is the water, like, shallow?
Yeah, it's like less than 3 feet. It's probably like a foot deep.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we maybe explore the water? But if so, is someone who's a little bit taller than Pipes willing to do so?
I mean, I'd be willing to explore the water, but
the water smells awful and it looks awful.
It would take too much to get that out of my feathers. No, I'm not getting in that water.
Oh, that's fair. You do have nice feathers.
But other than the water, there's also stuff around the room. There's doors, and you guys can see the staircase over here.
Oh,
There's a staircase there?
Yeah.
there's a staircase.
Hold on, let me. No, I want to select and then. Let me just.
There's a staircase.
Yeah, it wanted to argue with me, so I wanted to change it. But yeah, there is a staircase. There's doors across all the rooms. It's just a smorgasbord to explore.
Is that also a door that's...
Yep. There's
I
5
suppose
doors.
is, like...
Yep, there's 5 doors.
Okay. I'm gonna open the one that's closest to us here then, if that's okay. Like, wait, do I just click this and... Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a door.
Sorry, I didn't realize I could just open it. Like...
Yeah. So as you open and walk in, you see a large cupboard that stands alone in this room. Fine scrollwork frames the cupboard 2 doors, which are bridged with a circular panel of dark wood, and the panel is inlaid with a silver hourglass sigil.
we can't touch anything yet till we get our job done, because it rules of Bay Wild, ruin hospitality, and create violence towards us. But at the same time, we could. But I don't know. What do you guys think we should do? Do you think we should just... Do you think we should search things, or do you think we should just try and find the hag?
Nice.
We might just want to try to find the hag.
Are they going to be angry at us for touching things?
Yeah,
Probably.
yes, if we touch things, yes. But at the same time, I don't really like the hag. But a promise is a promise, so we should probably at least give the book first.
From my understanding, there's a chance that they could become violent when receiving the book from us.
Well, I'll sing a song or something and keep the peace. That tends to work. Who doesn't like music?
People who don't like music?
People don't like music?
Some people. Some people, it's got to be at an appropriate time.
Oh, there's an... Every time's an appropriate time for music.
I was about to say, Pipes is like, no, there's no inappropriate time for music. What are you talking about?
Pipes is going to not take out bagpipes, but take out their lute and start strumming at their lute as a sign of like, all time is time for music.
What if you're having an important meeting, you're supposed to talk, but the music gets in the way?
But you can talk over the music. I can talk and play the lute.
I wouldn't open with that one.
What you have to say better be in rhythm.
Well, if we make a lot of noise, don't you think somebody's gonna come look?
Maybe. But
Instead of
are
us
we
trying to walking through somebody's house uninvited, how about if we try to more or less announce that we're here?
Oh. I mean, that's fair.
I like to loudly shake the cowbell.
So,
were we in? I mean, we were technically invited, just not by the hag. But I guess that's not much of an invitation. Like if a thief invites you to someone else's home, it's not really an invitation, I guess.
trying to see why Pipes can see so far when it's not light.
I attuned to my monocle on the
No, that's not.
No, I was joking.
But either way, it's not a big enough deal. I'm not gonna be nitpicky. So you start doing loud cowbell. Let me see.
Oh, is there repercussion?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody could hear you right this second.
Well, they can't say we snuck in if we're ringing a cowbell the entire time we're walking through.
That's true. Maybe it's worse if we try to sneak in.
I mean, it might be. Who knows?
What do you guys normal like? For those who have been on this situation before, what do you tend to do? What's
the?
Not be here?
Oh. But I'm glad you're here with us now.
Thin line. Very, very thin line.
Well then, Sid, what do you want to do? Apparently S knows a spell. Let's see.
Could always try another door.
I would like to keep playing the cowbell as I make my way to the staircase.
Okay, so you want to head to the staircase. Ho-ho, do you want to try another door?
Yeah, I'll look out this door over here.
Okay, so as you click it, and you look out into the room, you see it's a balcony. This 10-foot wide balcony runs almost the entire length of the cottage. It's covered end to end with living frogs. At one end of the balcony, attached to one corner of the cottage, just beyond. At each end of the balcony, attached to one corner of the cottage, each beyond reach, is a clothesline draped in patchwork garments. The two lines stretch over the lake and disappear into the thick fog. So you haven't stepped out. Oh, you did step out. Okay. So as you step out of the balcony, the hundreds of harmless frogs all begin croaking in unison.
They know we're here now.
Would we be able to hear, from like where we are, like would Pipes be able to hear the frogs?
Oh yeah, no, it's clear. It's a lot louder than the cowbells.
Okay. I wish to harmonize.
You're not gonna do so easily.
Okay.
After about 30 seconds or so, you guys hear movement on the stairs. As coming down the stairs are three of these creatures. Let me pull up what they look like. Handouts. Is it on the? No, it's gonna be Darkling. No, that's not what that is. Is it Quickling? Yeah, okay. So as three things that look like this come down the stairs, and you just hear, who is it? Who set off those frogs? As they come towards the door.
Ho-ho did it. Hello.
Oh, he did he? And they step over here. The frogs are croaking this whole time. And they're like, come on back in so that they don't just keep croaking all night.
Walk back in.
And then they
Say I set the frogs off. Nice to meet you.
they hold up a finger and they yell at the frogs like, quiet down, and all the frogs just kind of stop croaking. Like, now, what are you guys doing here? Why are you messing with the frogs?
We're here to see your mistress.
Oh, you are you? Huh?
Yes.
Then you guys better follow us. We'll take you to her. She's gonna want to know who's in our house anyways. As they turn and they start heading back.
I'm gonna follow. Or at least attempt to, anyway.
Ho-ho. Why would they have frogs if they don't like the frogs croaking?
A good alarm system. And they're natural.
Oh. That's smart.
Yeah, so if one passes away, they just go out and catch another one. Makes it easy to replace.
Oh. That's morbid.
Didn't say it was nice. Just very effective.
I hope the frogs are happy.
Well, if they get fed well enough, they should be.
And Esmo says, and they also mate to keep the numbers up too. So you guys could just take a step up the stairs. It will automatically move you. How are you following as well?
Yes. Or at least trying to, anyway. I followed, yay!
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh no, I gotta follow you. I
I
gotta go
don't
behind the
even
biggest
know where.
person.
All right, which way did they go?
they went out the open door there.
Right here?
Southeast.
It's
Kelly, are you following as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before throwing you on it. So as you walk through, let me set the scene before you just go running about. Let me move these guys so you guys can be at the door. So what you guys see is two creatures are having a conversation over tea in the middle of this room. The first figure is seated in a time-worn armchair. She's a tall, lean woman of gray complexion, dressed in black with a wide-brimmed hat, obscuring her eyes. The other figure is a toad-like creature with bulging eyes and cracked skin. It is clad in a shapeless garment and sits on one end of the love seat with its legs pulled up underneath of it. Flies flit in and out of its mouth, which hangs agape when it isn't speaking. Two tiny versions. By the way, this is actually what those small things look like. They look identical to her, just small. Two tiny versions of the creature cling to it like pets. The room is filthy. Dirty dishes and bits of discarded food lie everywhere. The furniture was perhaps once of fine quality, but now stains of mysterious origins dirty every surface, and the upholstery has been patched numerous times. Set with its back to the wall in one corner is a hulking wooden cabinet. Sturdy legs support the bottom of the cabinet 6 inches above the ground. And a decrepit wooden staircase climbs up the wall in another corner. So let me get a picture of who you're about to talk to. So you are now meeting Bavlorna. By the way, Ho-Ho, since you're the only one in the call right now that has it, the itch you have is with this building in some way. Let me see.
The itch I have is in this building.
Yeah, like the need for something is coming from this building somewhere. Yeah, I don't. Okay.
And all I know is the need is in this building,
Yeah.
not like real close.
Yep. She turns and fixes her bulging eyes on you guys as you come into view. The toad-like creature speaks to you in a low, croaking voice. What acts of desperation compels you to enter my home, little darlings?
hello. We are here on a quest.
Oh.
I believe you lost something.
By the way, this is what the other figure looks like. Oh, I lost something, have I? And what's that?
we were given a book to give to you because it was stolen, but we were told to tell you that it wasn't the king that stole it.
Oh, really? May I have my book back then?
Pipes is trying to remember who's holding the book.
Right.
It was Ho-Ho that was holding it. Ho-Ho, do you give the book back?
I'm debating.
Okay, I was just making sure you heard me, that's all. They've already announced that you had it.
Yeah, I know they did. I'm gonna pull the book out and let her see that we got it.
Ah, very good. That is my book after all. Come along, hand it over.
And why?
All right, because that's the book I write everything. It's where I write all the stuff about everybody who's wronged me, and you wouldn't want to be part of that book now, would you? If you hand it over,
Of lost what?
it's where I write all the notes of everybody who's wronged me, and you wouldn't want to be
Wronged you?
added to the book now, would you? Besides, if you do me favors, I might be tempted to do you favors in the future. As she holds out her hand.
Something in my heart said don't do this. I'm gonna tentatively hand it to her.
And as she moves to grab it, her skin like cracks and creaks.
I'm assuming somebody in that list would be who stole it.
If I ever find out who did steal it, they most certainly would be added. All I know is it disappeared from my house just 2 days prior to now, and I'm grateful for its speedy return. And she tries to take the book from you, Ho-Ho.
I'll release it.
Okay. And she takes it and just opens it to make sure everything's in order and closes. It's like, very good. Now, if I may be so bold, you guys, at least a few of you guys, look to be missing something. Now, if I was a betting person, I would say that some of you guys might be looking for things that you might have lost. Now, if you're willing to do some things for me, I'll be willing to consider giving those things to you, or at least finding where they are. What do you say?
Well, what would you be asking of us?
Oh, nothing too much. You've already returned my book, so maybe you could fix my preservation pool down below. You probably would already have seen it. It doesn't seem to be filled with water properly. And second, I need you to pick up a package. I'm somewhat of an expert in taxidermy, and I have a bullywog hunter that has a crate for me to taxidermy, fill the carcasses to taxidermy. If you can go and pick that up and bring it to me, that'll be the second, sure, and that'll be all. What do you say?
We have a moment to have a group discussion.
Oh, by all means, I've been nothing but courteous to you guys, and you guys haven't proven that you're not being hospitable back to me. She says with a small smile that her skin on the edges of her smile creak and crack a bit.
I'm gonna like leave the room slightly and like gesture for like a huddle or huddle-esque sort of.
All right, group huddle. Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
You guys know what you've lost?
My parents, my eye color,
I have no clue what I've lost. I just have a nagging feeling there's something here that I'm supposed to have.
but also, I do kind of just want to put on the table. Bad vibes, you know.
I mean, this whole place is bad vibes.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't want to make any promises to this person, but at the same time, I like.
If any of you guys want to, you can roll an insight for during that conversation to see if you think she's lying or not. I'm not. That's more than fine to do like retroactively because you guys are talking about it.
I'll do it. May as well.
Oh, by the way, Brandon, you never rolled to see what your number was today. Though I don't think you're using any of your fate points.
I haven't. It's only on long rest.
Okay.
Every long rest we do.
Do you have it
it's
recorded
still
then?
number 3, yes.
Okay.
So anytime somebody rolls the number 3 without the modifiers, like nobody has done so far.
Well, with your insight, ho-ho, you can tell that it's very much like Pipes was saying with the hospitality. She didn't seem to be lying to you guys. She was being honest. She kept a straight look at you. She never averted her eyes, or it didn't seem like she was like stressed or nervous. Like she was straight shooting with you.
I feel like she's not. I feel like there would be a cost to whatever we would gain.
I mean, that everything has a cost to what you gain.
I just mean like it might even be us that pay the cost, but I don't. I feel like what this like, because we know that what this is hurting the Feywild. I don't want to assist in hurting the Feywild anymore.
Yeah, but well, I mean, if we can get something back, it doesn't mean we have to always agree to help her, but we can at least get what we want back.
That's true.
Esmos will pipe up like, yeah, you don't have to swear fealty to her, but you can just promise to do one job. We just have to make sure whatever we promise, we know what we're promising.
Okay.
That's right, Pikes. You're a monarch. You don't have to swear fealty to anybody.
You're
Well,
right.
Esmos probably goes off thinking, well, that's not exactly true, because even some monarchs have monarchs above them. They all do-
Pikes is the monarch of all monarchs.
Am I?
You could be. You just have to aspire to be.
I love how
Maybe
I love how Sid is slowly becoming a non-bird lover, but a rabbit lover.
No, not yet. Don't worry. I got I'm just. This is all part of my plan.
If I get him to kill himself, nobody would take my bird god's love from me.
Exactly. If he just makes foolish and rash decisions that so happen to have terrible outcomes.
Oh no!
He's easily gullible.
Yeah, that's.
You're right. Well, I mean, I don't plan on having fealty to anyone anyway. Except, I guess you guys like fealty to like more friendship. I don't know. But
I don't think I need fealty. You're good. You're good.
I just mean like that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, well, so we should. So are we agreeing that we help out and do things as long as we understand exactly what those things are?
No, just don't do anything that'll cause like unrepairable damage.
Death to ourselves.
Yes,
I mean,
That would
that
probably
is-
be a
that
good
is-
thing not to avoid.
that is a very good self-preservation. It rules above all.
but to be fair,
Right, okay.
Sid only
Is
has
that
a
like
good
rule
6
number-
years, so.
35 in your rule book.
I mean, I don't have a rule book. My rule book is pretty short. Don't die. Don't do dumb stuff.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Rule 3: worship the bird gods.
He's right. There is a rule. Okay. So we go in, we ask what the things do that she wants, like why she wants it. Just so it's like
I mean, one, she wants to do a job. Like, she wants to do her job. I don't remember what the other one was. I know we had to get a box of stuff that needs to be stuffed.
It was pick up a package and fix your pool.
see. So we should try and learn what the pool does, and learn what the package is.
Well, she told you the package is filled with animal bodies that she's done taxidermy. Now, if you don't understand what taxidermy is, you can ask your friends here. But she did give you that information.
Right, cool.
Because I don't know what Pipes does and doesn't know. I just know what she said. She just said, and she called her pool the preservation pool.
I guess okay. But like, okay.
So, what are we doing? You guys could always think on this too. I could end the session a little bit early and you guys could think on it. And get Koi in here next time. That's up to you guys too. What do you guys feel?
I think I'm hesitant, but I'm like it was pointed out. Pipes is gullible, so if other people do agree to do the jobs, Pipes probably will also agree to like do the jobs. But Pipes is just hesitant. So I'll go with the group, whoever the decision.
But you're the monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Pipes can be easily talked into,
Yeah.
even as a monarch, he's more of a shadow. Like, there's somebody else controlling Pipes' kingdom. He's just
What
kind
I'm
of a
nervous
figurehead.
about is fixing the the pool?
preservation.
What was that?
If it like preserves things, then first of all, I don't think I want to get in that water because it's going to preserve you how?
Oh,
You can always ask her. She might be upfront.
I pop my head around the door and like, hey, what does the preservation pool actually do?
She like blinks at you a little bit and it's like, why, it's what I bathe in every day to give me my wonderful youthful glow. I haven't had it for a couple days now, so I'm getting a little... She looks down at her gray, like, cracky skin and is like, I would just prefer it to be done sooner than later.
Oh,
Is that a yes that you're gonna help me?
possibly. I need to go back to the group huddle. We were just curious about that part.
Okay.
Hey, it's a bath.
Oh, right, okay. So wait, so she just wants us to fix her bath and then get like a bunch of animal carcasses for her.
Yeah, fix her pipes, get dead things.
Effectively, yes.
So we're just doing chores?
Yes.
Effectively, yes.
Okay.
Alright, no promises on the preservation pool. We're gonna look into it. I don't know if we have any, plumbers in our group, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we might not. Yeah, we might not have the skills to fix it.
We going with the yes, guys? Yeah, I think we're going with the yes.
So you pop your head around and say that?
Yeah, just pop my head around
So-
the door and be like,
so
yeah,
you're-
we're going with the yes.
So you're willing to help me? Oh, good. And she's like, well then, let me know when you have my package and let me know when my pool's fixed.
Where's
Oh,
your
like-
package at?
Oh, right. And she kind of, like, points to one of her mini selves, and they run up to you with a map and kind of point at a location. It's on the last map you guys were on outside. She's like, it should
Can I
be
take
right
their
about
map?
there. Sure. But return it to me when you are done with my errands.
Will do, thank you. Alright, guys. Does anybody know how to work on plumbing?
Do you
No.
guys head back down the stairs?
Yeah.
But if it's not like swimming, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, if you guys move up, you guys can just easily move down. You have to move one more up.
Well, I think I'm too short to get into the water.
No, the
Oh.
water is like it's like, according to her, and you see it now better, it didn't look this way because it was nasty, but the water is only a couple inches high.
But it's nasty.
Yes.
Alright, Pipes.
Yes, am I
Your name's-
doing things?
Yeah, your name's Pipes, right?
I mean, yeah. Does that mean I'll be good at this?
Possibly.
Okay.
Worth a shot.
Pipes will just go in.
Okay, so you go around and go in the water. It's because you have to go in like over here, just because that's where the ladder goes down into it. So what you see, so what you see is here is it's barely anything. And do you go and take a look at the well at the center?
Yep.
As you look over into the well, you notice it's filled with calm water almost to the brim. But it doesn't seem to be like spewing out any water.
Let me check my inventory real fast. Can I use my like rapier to like poke down to see if there's like a blockage?
You poke your rapier in the water and you don't hit nothing. Do you just put the rapier in, or do you reach your arm in, or?
I probably reach my arm in.
So as your arm hits the water, and it doesn't hurt, but you feel like a tingling. Your arm tingles uncomfortably.
I'm going to pull it out of the water and look at my arm.
Go ahead and roll me a nature.
figured that was gonna happen.
What did you?
Can I
What
have him
was-
re-roll that before anything happens?
Yeah, you could use reaction and spend to force a reroll. Go ahead and reroll.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that one.
And you turn yourself into a chicken.
All right,
Really?
I'll do it. No.
No, he does. He can. But you don't know what was causing your arm to tingle. You thought you might have had it for a second, but you weren't sure.
It's probably fine.
Can I like more look over the well and peer in if I can see if it looks like it is something down at the bottom that's blocking it, or
If there is something blocking it, you can't see far enough down in there to see it.
All right, you like water, right?
Huh?
No. No. I don't like getting wet.
No, horror, not ho-ho.
No.
I know you don't like water. Birds of a feather.
Kelly, what does horror respond to that at, like? I think you're talking to her, and until her responds, she's just like looking around the room and looking at the water and stuff, just not quite answering, just kind of probably lost in her own world.
Want to go shake my cowbell at her?
is there anything I could roll to see what to just double check what would potentially fix this? Like what sort of roll would that be?
I mean, you can always go swimming in there yourself and try to unclog it. If it's a clog.
That's what horror's for. Horror can swim.
Yeah, but Pipes could find the clog real quick by sinking.
Yeah, but how's he gonna unfind the clog and come back up for air?
I mean, you guys
Do
could
it.
tie a rope.
Do you
I
know
don't
what's
have
funny? I forgot I couldn't swim and was just about to be, yeah, I guess I could do that.
I mean, you still could.
10 foot of string. I don't think that's enough.
At least one of you guys have 50 foot of rope.
I mean,
We could.
Pipes, you got any rope?
I believe I have rope.
Sid also knows how to swim.
Sid knows how to swim, but Sid doesn't want to get in the water.
Yeah, but if you
I-
don't do it, your gods might have to do it, and then they'd be disappointed in you.
Well, if horror won't do it, then I guess I'm the last choice because I won't let them go do it.
I do not have rope. I am willing to do it, but I cannot swim, so would need rope.
Oh, do you have rope?
Well, I'm looking in inventory and I don't see any.
One of you guys are bound to have rope.
Watch it be Joseph who had rope.
No.
You can
I
always
mean,
look
you
around
have
for-
10 feet of string. Maybe that's enough.
That should be enough. I'm pretty small.
It also,
Where's that?
what?
Pipes, can you hold me?
Ho, I'm gonna say you have 50 foot of rope because your pack should have came with rope. So you have rope.
Yeah, figuring being a ranger, I think I would too, but
It just didn't copy it in there properly. Let me just,
okay.
I'll put it in there.
Because I should have had what they call an explorer's pack, and that should have had
Yeah.
that in.
Yep.
All right. I'll do it. Let's go.
So
I
you,
will hold you.
If I'm not back up
Wait.
in 90 seconds, pull me back up.
It also, even if you just want to come up, if you tug twice at all, or if it gets loose, I will instantly either jump after you or pull you up.
Please don't jump after me. I don't think there's enough room for two of us to swim in here.
Here's a question, Pipes. How strong are you?
I was gonna give you 50. If you have 50 feet, you're 20 feet away. That gives me 30 feet to go down. I think, hopefully that's enough. If not, we'll come up with another plan.
I mean, how do I judge how strong I am?
Pipes,
I think
pick
I'm
me
fairly
Okay. Do I roll for strength or?
No, as long as you're holding on to the rope, he's a small creature, you're a small creature, it should be fine.
Okay, that's fine.
It'll be fine.
Alright, you just keep a hold on the rope as long as possible.
Wait. Before you go in, all I will say is my arm did get tingly. The importance of it, I do not know, but just arm tingles.
Anybody got swimming goggles or?
I have a monocle.
And that's good for one eye. I don't think it seals very well, but thanks for the offer. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go. Let's just get it over with.
Okay. So you tie the rope around your vase and you jump in?
Yep.
Okay. So, what, do you just swim down or?
Swim down while like putting my hands on the side if I can to see if I can find like a hole or something.
So as you swim down about 10 feet, you find something, and you can probably assume this is what's causing the clog. But as you put your hand on there, your hand burns as the thing that's causing the clog kind of jiggles a little bit as it moves towards you.
I tug on the rope repeatedly
I
as
will
I try
pull
to swim up.
I will pull as hard as I can and get him up faster and faster.
Okay, as you pull him up, he bursts out, and right after you see a large thing burst out of the water right behind you. As we end the session with the gelatinous cylinder trying to eat you. But right after it came out of there, the water started coming back out.
Right.
Pipes drowns.
Well, you could, but... So I'm going to set up an initiative so we remember, and I have to track something else. So I'm going to throw you guys in now.
Do we roll for it as well, or do we?
Yeah, you can.
Good job on pipes.
Initiative.
If you go to the two swords looking icon, you click it, then there should be a dice by your name. That should help too. A 0.03.
Yeah. What are you laughing about?
Not quite 0.
Well,
Where
yeah.
am I going to find initiative?
Okay, so on the top right, you should see next to your chat messages and the sheet area where your actors are, there should be 2 swords. You click that, and you should...
2 swords?
Yep. Then you should see ho-ho with a dice. You just click the dice. Yep, there you go. Okay, I'm going to leave Esmos for when he comes next time, but I am going to end stream here. Thank you guys for coming to join me. I hope you guys had fun meeting more and more characters. Sad Koi wasn't feeling well and had to dip, but I hope he feels better. And it should be a fun start of next time as this gelatinous cylinder is trying to eat you, Brandon. I want some chicken.
Don't worry, I got a plan.
You do you?
Yeah, the good old hit and run.
Are you going to polymorph into a chicken?
No, not yet. That's an emergency situation.
We'll see. Either
Depending
way,
on how much damage, maybe.
either way, I'm gonna end stream here. Thank you everybody, and I mean everybody, because we had quite a few people chatting in chat every once in a while, for showing up and just hanging out and keeping me company as well as the wonderful players I have. We should be live with more D&D on Friday and Sunday, respectively, Tyranny of Dragons and Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I'll be live throughout the week with God of War, Digimon, and new Pokemon game Friday. So until then, make sure to hit the follow. Follow me on all my social medias to know when I go live. And I will catch you guys when I'm live again tomorrow at some point. So until then, see ya.